She's shaking. We all should have freedom of speech, everybody. But when we're giving our opinions, do we practice double standards unknowingly? Well, to help us understand double standards in society, we are founder of Mogava, Jason Downer, and social worker Marvette Facey Dobbs. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Morning.
May I ask you, ladies first, why?
That's a double standard, right?
Marvette, ladies first. All right. No, Marvette,
Yes,
ladies first.
ma'am.
Chivalry is not dead,
It
even
is
a
not.
double standard
All
in
right,
society.
Attend the funeral.
Why, exactly, why this discussion is timely? No. Or is it something that we should always be talking about?
We should always be talking about it because we live in a world of double standards. If it's not one thing, it's the other. And basically, we live in a patriarchal society where it's man can do everything and woman have to step back. So it's always timely.
So the double standard usually favors the male.
Absolutely.
Mr. Jason, you're in agreement with that?
For the most part, but it's changing.
Is it?
I think so.
Tell me what you've seen.
Let me give you, for example.
Would love one.
I find once you heard that men aren't supposed to, when they're doing laundry, aren't supposed to do the laundry of the females, the undergarment. I grew up hearing that. Yeah, I grew up hearing that. When you used to just use bucket and wash. No, I find men are more willing to do that.
Are more willing to wash their women's
Yeah,
clothes.
man, I encourage it too. Yeah, so
They are?
things like, yeah, oh yes, at least the men I know.
I mean, them I don't lick.
No, no.
Okay, what?
It is changing. And even working among young men, you find that young men are more willing. I'm not saying it's perfect, but you find that they're more willing. And again, it points to modeling. I think culturally some things are changing. I do think so.
Okay. All right, well, let's break down some of we have some cartoons, okay, that we can put up to help guide our discussion this morning. But let's talk about, what does it say? You're paying, right? Or what are you, not a man? All right.
Ooh.
My feeling is that we've probably moved on from that. What is your feeling about that, Marvette?
Somewhat. I mean, you talk to girlfriends and they're fine, especially for the first date where you say you got Dutch. And that's fine. But if you move on to the second date and Mr. Man now want to pay up, then you're going to think a little bit that him kind of cheap.
And so is that fair to the man?
It depends, but
From a traditional standpoint.
Sure, but if things are changing and we're looking for equality and we're looking for those double standards to disappear, why should the man always pay? Maybe that's what some women will say, even if it's a traditional rule.
I agree. I offer to pay, but I mean, if you want to pay, that's fine, but I offer to pay.
Isn't it?
But not everybody.
Isn't it, or the kind of relationship you have, though? I mean, I don't know, maybe I try to impress her and I want to pay, but if we, we're together and, you know what I mean?
It's history.
Yeah, so
It's different. But
why one at a time she can't just say, yeah. I've had girlfriends who said, I could go lunch, man, I'll deal with it. I've had that. I mean,
Yeah, it depends on the relationship, but it also depends on the individuals as well. Because as he was talking about modeling, if you come from a background where you're used to the man doing everything, then you may model that behavior in terms of your relationships and picking up a tab.
I use my parents sometimes as an example. My mother was everything in the house.
Right.
But it don't mean that my father did weak. I think, and this is just my thoughts, I never ever spoke to him about it, that my father kind of said, well, Mama do so and so, so I don't need to do it. I didn't see him as somebody say, his Mama do everything and him just sit down and all, So again, it comes back to the kind of relationship. But he was always there and provide for us. We just never see him wash not yet in my life.
You mentioned something important. If I'm going out with my sister, I mean, I know my sister, we have a relationship. But if it is that I'm dating somebody, there is an expectation. If I ask a young lady out, especially if I ask, there is an expectation that I am going to cover the bill. If at that point in time the bill is to be covered and we're there and I'm looking and I'm saying, well, pick up the tab, it will boil a problem and it will send a message to her. So I believe the context is important.
And that is where she get up and go to the bathroom.
Would it
Am I
also
get
send a
money?
message if
So
I say,
come
Sim,
back.
I can't go lunch, I don't have no money, man, come, I can go sit down
No,
and
that's
eat it."
fine.
That send a message
That's
to
a
her,
disclaimer.
and she might say, you know, the man you invite me, and I'm talk about him now, the money. Him no
But
wait
then
till
I
he
can
get
make
that
a
money.
decision as to whether I want to go or no. Forewarned is forearmed. If I go there and I'm a bill full and I'm belching and the bill come and you are telling me you don't have anything in your pocket, then we're going to have a...
So we have belch up.
Eh? To buy a better food, I'm
Tell you a
satisfied.
secret.
Okay, let's see the next...
Nurse said this is a shopping mall. We can't allow women to brazenly display their breasts.
Right.
But we allow cleavage.
Yeah. No, that is a double standard. And I rather see a woman, personally, feeding her child than seeing that. I mean, 'cause these days, I see breast leg and tie walking down the street all the while.
Outside of KFC.
Yes, and it's everywhere and for no reason.
Yeah.
You're advertising Panadol.
I
And you see boobs out
Yeah,
and
I
you
think
wonder
for
why.
I'm not sure if we have to be careful how we call the brand name.
I
I'm
think-
not sure
I
it's
think-
really a thing, but I think you mean like headache medicine.
I think for the most part, it's because some men might see it as, I don't want to use the term disgusting, but see that as not something as a man I'm supposed to see, unless it's in a sexual context. And I think we have to re-socialize our men.
But what's wrong with cleavage? I'm just saying.
As a church man,
Maybe it's what
Modesty.
what are we defining as cleavage?
well,
by the
there you
way?
go. I mean,
Because I think I have some
It
here.
can be classy.
no,
and it can-
certainly,
and it-
certainly.
And
No,
it
man.
can be just
But sometimes it can be,
gaudy. Yeah.
if I can
You
say
have
porn.
cleavage and then you have everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Cleavage
saying.
is like a
It can be
hint of-
classy, right?
Yeah,
it
yeah,
can be classy.
yeah, yeah.
We don't have a lot of time. I want to jump to one because I'm a sports person. And it's an example that we're using, that when the Reggae Boys qualified for the World Cup, we got a public holiday and the whole place tear off. The young ladies qualified for the World Cup and we don't get a holiday, even though the government has now said they're going to have a weekend of festivities for them.
I wasn't expecting a holiday, but at least more excitement.
But that's a double standard he's speaking about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But one of the what I want to play devil's advocate here. When we qualified for the World Cup as the male team, it was the first time ever.
Right.
We have since qualified 4 teams for the World Cup. The young ladies make the 15.
First time ever for them. Though.
But
First time
but
ever.
national.
No.
Yeah.
And the truth is, though,
No, but we qualified. Sorry to jump in, but we qualified the male men senior, not male men, the men senior, the under 20 men, the under 17 men twice. And now we get the girls. I'm asking, could that have something to do with it? That the people them say, well, that's not the
used
first
to,
time we
yeah,
won the
yeah.
World Cup.
I disagree. I
I-
just think
I'm
that
asking,
generally.
I'm asking. I don't know what
and
you
I'm
disagree
saying-
with
I'm
because I'm asking that question. Yeah.
I'm saying that generally, male sport is just, you have more excitement around male sport than you have female
And what
sport.
causes that?
Better it come from you than me.
No, what causes that?
I'm not sure what causes it. I think
Yeah.
mostly we think that sport is supposed to be for men, and so women were just tagging along. So you do something as a female in sport, it's hardly anything. And I guess this is why female sports people are paid less than men.
I think that's an argument a lot of people use in the context of an Aliyah versus a Hussein, for example. Aliyah's consistency is undeniable. She breaks records time and
She's really good,
time
yeah.
and time again. She doesn't nearly get the amount of respect that she deserves. And some would say that serves to underscore the double standard with women and sport.
I can tell you this from a personal standpoint again. I love football, but for some reason, I'm concerned when I see women playing football.
You're
Right.
concerned.
Yeah, for example, I'm on my chest
That's
ball.
what my trick.
No, honestly, I'm on my chest ball. When a woman chest ball, I'm worried about her, especially knowing about this breast cancer thing. When a woman ride bicycle for me, I'm very concerned.
But men get
But
breast cancer too, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying no, but I'm just showing you where my headspace is at. I just think it's just very harmful for them. And it has nothing to do with better than.
Are you worried about men and prostate cancer or
Yes, I am.
when
But
they play football? Because
yeah, but I just think women are more, in terms of, based on what I'm hearing and my limited information, and as relates to breast cancer, that if a ball hit a woman, now sir is more sporty than I am in terms of understanding. If a ball hit a woman, I'm very concerned about that.
Well,
Personally.
Listen, I
I don't know
think-
why you call me sir, but
Well, you know.
I'm not too versed in that area. But I
Yes.
disagree with you that
well.
women shouldn't play. I mean,
No, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm
I
just
think,
saying
I
am
think
more
Serena
concerned.
Williams is probably one of the greatest athletes ever seen in my life.
Perhaps
I mean,
Jason, you
period.
should do a little more research.
Maybe,
on that.
maybe.
Period.
It
I
could be
mean-
due to my ignorance, but I'm just saying, as a man looking on, and I'm just concerned.
I mean, women have been playing football for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Very
is there a likelihood for a woman to more be prone to that kind of
Is
disease?
there a
than a
likelihood
man?
for male footballers to more be prone to ALS?
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
you know.
True.
The United States women team won the World Cup on penalties.
Right.
The young lady who hit the last penalty
Yeah.
and won the World Cup took off her shirt,
Yeah.
ran all over the place without her
And
shirt.
on our sports bra?
Yep, she had on a nice sports bra. Well, the United States people, them
Must
go
an
not
issue.
so right.
But the men...
But the men take off them shirts
Everything.
all the while and flick it all
and
over
don't
the
have on
place.
no sports bra.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the topless.
Is that,
there's
is that a double standard?
Absolutely, but there's a topless law in Canada, right?
That what?
Regina versus Jacobs, where women are now allowed to walk topless in Ontario.
No.
Yes,
Because
people are-
men can do it.
right.
Okay.
So that's a double standard. You think that the woman should not have taken off her shirt?
For the sport itself, yes. Because if it is that women are allowed to play football and they want to celebrate and they have on their sports, bro, why not? But again, I'm somewhat kind of traditional. I'm learning some things, and I'm accepting some things. And that even though I have my biases, but some things are just what they are.
So what do you think we need to do to move away? You said things are changing, Jason.
Yes.
I'm not sure how far you think we've come, but looking down the road, culturally, things like this take years for growth, for mindsets to change, because it's minds. Do you envision, some kind of change to this stereotypical
Yes, I
view
do.
of man-woman
I do.
equality?
I believe we're becoming more informed, and I believe that discussions like these are healthy, and we need to go into the schools some more. That's where I believe. On one hand, we can be reactive, but we need to be proactive.
There are some topics we didn't touch. This one I find, I don't know if it's funny or just interesting. Ladies with big bellies are like leprosy to some people, while big belly men is a
Yes.
thing. Well, you never tell me that.
Big belly man is a thing.
There is a, yeah, man, big,
Me a
big
try
belly
only
man
eat my
is a
belly.
thing. There is even a song is Admiral Bailey.
Big belly man.
That's a
Yeah,
years
man, and
ago.
there was an article. There are articles that big belly men make the best spouses because of.
If we didn't
You
tell
know
me that,
what?
man, so we just start coming and sit down and say, you like me? No?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't-
You see pregnant men that walking down the street that them
Pregnant
going
men.
sneeze and you see something pop out. But if you see a woman with things hanging out, people have a problem with that.
No,
Look at
but-
I see
but
many,
it doesn't
many
mean that it's
pregnant men
accepted,
walking.
though.
No, man, it's a thing. I'm telling you, it's a thing.
Pregnant
It's a,
men.
it's
now
a
a
thing because
thing.
some of us kind of lazy and we eat late like
No, but I
myself.
mean, it's a thing that
Yeah.
people said big belly man are it. And
Oh,
them
they
are
never
run the
tell me
cuts.
them
Me
things.
never, I don't know about
I
that.
didn't read that memo. either.
You never read it.
So,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
just
I'm
funny.
gonna read that memo then.
No, I didn't get that memo
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
But the stereotypes exist. I guess we are.
But real man have
see.
guts though. I would say.
Well, this is true. Women too, Jason.
It is quite okay and
too.
acceptable for men, whatever their body type, to walk the beach in whatever they feel like wearing. But women, oh dear God, no. I'm reading. That's
That was from
No
me,
comment.
actually.
no comment.
Well, when I go to the beach or wherever, I put on a shirt.
No, well, women,
Image is everything. I
women
guess.
my size expected to wear tights or t-shirt or both, or the long coveralls from your up your neck
Oh, Lord.
to down your toe. But you'll see big belly man juggling everything, and it's fine.
When you say juggling everything,
No, man, I mean them walking and things jiggling because they can't
The
help
jello
themselves.
belly. The jello belly.
I want to know what jiggling.
I think we just different
Never did.
notes
I feel we better leave
all
this place.
together. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Bless. bless be
And it's fact though, some of it is fact. But in
Absolutely.
some areas, like in women tennis, people like Billie Jean King, Serena Williams
Serena.
are fighting for the same amount of money that the man them get, and it's almost there now.
I
And
think
so the
it's
WNBA and the,
Respect.
NBA.
And it's not even in sports alone. Just generally, I think a woman, you're qualified, you're doing just as much as a man, you should be paid.
Absolutely.
All right, founder of Mogava, Jason Downer, and social worker Marvet Facey Dubs, who just get to all away in trouble.
She did. I think that was more you. Yeah, you said the double standard, you tried to make it look
Double
like it was
standard.
her.
Who's she?
But it was you.
She-
Blame the woman.
Me and
right?
Jason sit down comfortably.
Quite
The two of-
fine, quite
the
fine.
two of
It wasn't
them-
me.
The two of them go and listen.
Typical. Yeah. Up next, guys, we share a few fun food facts for this Feel Good Friday. But first, we've got a video to take us to break. Here's Jamil with a better tomorrow.